Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time on Vaughn Radio. It's the show with no name. It's the show. Let's go. That's right, folks. That's right. It's the show with no name, your non-stop, action-packed English show on Vaughn Radio, where we've been for 14 seasons. That's right, 14 years on the air, educating you and entertaining you. I hope. And folks, that's what we call edutainment. When I was a kid, that word didn't even exist, or maybe it did, and I wasn't aware of it. Consciente. I wasn't aware of it. But man, now I love it. It's the only thing I consume. Edutainment. I want to be entertained. As humans, we have a need to be entertained, right? That's why movies exist. That's why music, right? To be inspired by art in general, right? But also, doesn't everybody want to enrich themselves? Who doesn't want to know more? Who doesn't want to learn more? I know all of you here that join us on Vaughn Radio, you guys are curious cats. What? Why did I just call you a cat? Curious cat. Well, this was a term in the 60s, maybe the 50s. And it was like pájaro now in Spanish. Este pájaro, this cat. It reminds me of like the jazz days. You know, I think of the jazz days. People probably said, oh, this cool cat. But hey, I'm always looking for that alliteration. I'm always looking for ways that I can make words sound nice when they go together. In fact, if you listen to my podcast, FYI, you'll see that all of the episodes, the intros, you'll find, I think one of them, my record was 11 times. What do I mean? I said a plentiful plethora of people I put 11 P's in one sentence. And I got to tell you something, it was quite challenging. And speaking of challenging, we've got a lot of challenges to come today on the show. Plus, we've got a challenge coming up in person, folks. And it is Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. Do you want to have fun? Do you want to practice your English? Do you want to be challenged? Do you want to meet your Vaughn Radio teachers? Do you want to mingle with your classmates? Do you want to give me $1 million? No! Oh, sorry. I just slipped that last one in there. Hey, it can't hurt to try. All joking aside, join us Wednesday, November 2nd at 8:30 p.m. at Roll Madrid. If you want to have fun, practice your English, be challenged, meet your favorite Vaughn Radio teachers, mingle with your classmates, and yeah, if you want to give me $1 million, that's okay too. Vaughn Radio Trivia Nights, hosted by yours truly, un servidor. See you on Wednesday, November 2nd at 8:30 p.m. Let's do this. That's right, folks. Vaughn Radio Trivia Night, hosted by me, November 2nd. That's a Wednesday evening, November 2nd, 2022. And it's going down at 8:30 p.m. Get there at 8 because, well, I'll put you on a good team. If you get there early And because what happens is sometimes people come alone, sometimes people come in groups of 3, sometimes people come in groups of 6. Since the teams are teams of 6, that's something you want to take into consideration. And that's kind of cool too, because it always happens. I've seen it a million times where you and your friend come, your husband or your best friend, whatever, right? You show up and you don't know anybody. And then I say, hey, this is my friend Sean from San Francisco and his daughter and you guys are going to be with them on the same team. And now I forced it, yo lo forcé, but that's my job as the host as well. But it's awesome because you see so many new friendships forming as well. And it's a great place for all the Vaughn radio listeners to get together once a month. It's happening at Roll Madrid, which is Calle de Amaniel number 23. Bueno, en inglés, 23 Amaniel Street. It's an American style place. It's a brewery. They've got some really good beers. They've even got a chocolate beer, if that's your thing. I can't stomach chocolate beer. I tried it. It was good, but it tasted like a dessert to me. But hey, some people are looking for a little sweetness, a little extra sweetness in their beer. Well, whatever your preferences may be, it's going to be awesome. And we're going to have the time of our lives because we had the time of our lives, and we never felt like this before. Yes, I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you, y te lo debo a ti. Folks, come to the trivia night if you can. It's gonna be magical. That's right. That's right. All right. Well, speaking of challenges, let's get into our first challenge of today, our pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. I mean, what is this? Is this an English class or is this a club? Esto es una discoteca, una clase de inglés. Hey, call it whatever you want. The important thing is I got 2 things I want you to do here every day, and that is have fun and learn English. Put them in the order you want, but do both of those things. And if you keep doing that, then you'll keep coming back because who doesn't like to do stuff that's fun? And, as 6 months goes on, a year goes on, you'll start to realize, oh, shit, English isn't as foreign as it was. No es tan extranjero como idioma como yo pensaba. And that's really, listen, even myself, when I moved to Spain, I had a pretty decent level of Spanish. Okay, not nearly what it is now, but I wasn't near perfection. Not even my comprehension. I didn't understand everything. And little by little, living here, now I understand everything. I can express myself clearly. Okay, I make mistakes, but as I always say, mistakes, not blessings, mistakes are blessings in disguise. No, los errores son bendiciones ocultas, disfrazadas literalmente. All right, so folks, we've got our pop quiz right now. It's sponsored by my buddy Kyle Miller and his awesome program, Drive Time. Welcome to Drive Time with Kyle Miller. That's right, folks.
Yes, it is drive time.
I just said folks at the same exact time Kyle did. I didn't even do it on purpose. Folks, my great friend Kyle Miller, who's going to be at the trivia night. Also, Richard Vaughn is going to be there as well. I mean, it is going to be a who's who of Vaughn Radio presenters and hopefully Vaughn Radio students. And I know what you guys are thinking. Those of you who want to come, but you can't. Don't worry. Guys, come on. There's no reason to cry. It's all right. Guys, we're going to live stream it. Come on. We're going to live stream it. Don't worry. You guys will be able to follow. Oh, God. All right. Let me consult. Come here. Put your head on my shoulder. Come on over here. It's okay. I know you want to be there live, but if you can't, you can join our Vaughn Radio Trivia Night for the first time ever. You can join us on a live stream. So wherever you may be, whether you're in Pengo or Poland, guess what? You can join us. You've got no excuses. I hope you'll join us. It's going to be tons of fun. Let's see what Kyle has prepared for us in our pop quiz. This comes right off his show, Drive Time. Here we go. Te codeas con gente importante. There's your translation. Te codeas con gente importante. Translate that for me, please, or for Kyle. And if you listen to the show, then you've got an edge. Tienes ventaja. Let's go on over to our chat room. We've got a lot of students checking in. We'll see who we've got. Front row censor, we've got ESD. And he says, good morning, classmates. TGIF, kids. TGIF, thank God it's Friday. What's up, ESD? Monse says, morning, guys. The weekend is here. Woohoo! Awesome, Monse. Well, we've got a lot of work to do before we crack open that first beer. German says, hello, guys. Do you want to have some tuna and mayo with me? It's a weird question. German, I'm not so sure I get what you mean there. Is that what you're having for, what is that? I'm confused. That's all. Let's see. There's my dad. What's up, Dad? He says, good morning, Alberto, friends and family. Greetings from Greenwood Lake, New York. Marta says, good morning, everyone. Let's have a blast with the last show of the week. Oh, well, don't forget, you've also got a new episode of FYI. And this week we are looking at Lego. That's right. We're going to let out our inner child. There's Eva checking in. She says, good morning. Good morning to you, Eva. Born to Iron Man says, morning, folks. TGIF. I hope you're like a kid in a candy store. There's a totally native. Are we in? No doubt. No doubt. Oh, man, Born to Iron Man. It would be great to see you at the trivia night. But if you can't make it, we get it. We get it. German says, I guess the meeting is going to be at beer o'clock. There's a totally native for you. Beer o'clock. Laura says, good morning. Wonderful show with no namers. Let's learn and have fun together. Laura, that is the attitude. You've always got the right attitude. We've also got our amigo Jay Plante saying, sorry if I pronounced it wrong, Jay Plante saying, hi, Double A and friends. We've got Sonny Lo checking in saying, hi from Valencia. Born to Iron Man says, Kyling me softly. Kile millar, right? All right, here's Born to Iron Man participating in our challenge. Now remember, Kyle gave us this translation. Te codeas con gente importante. All right, well, let's see. Born to Iron Man says, you rub shoulders with important people. Does that sound right to you guys? Sounds perfect. to me. Great job. Born to Iron Man. Wow. You rub shoulders with important people. Another way we can say that is VIPs. Just remember, we don't say VIPs. You know, in Spanish, you say, él es un VIP. We don't. We say VIP. So if you're going to use that, we say VIP. And let's look at the pronunciation of the word important. Ooh, because I don't say important. I say important. Important. You can say important, but you can't say important. You know, you gotta. So you can say. I'm going to say it without the glottal thing. No sin el este americano. Just pretend somebody's punching you in the abs. Que te están dando un puñetazo en los abdominales, right? Mountain, fountain, important, right? It's like somebody's kicking you in the abs. So I would say important, but you can also say important. I would say mountain, but you can also say mountain. Just so you know, there are different ways to pronounce things out there. I naturally do that glottal thing. It's very American. So excellent job, Born to Iron Man, to rub shoulders with important people. Also, some other expressions that come to mind with the word rub. To rub somebody the wrong way. Yeah. Excuse me. To rub somebody the wrong way, no le caes bien. I don't know what it is about him, but he rubs me the wrong way. No, me frota de la manera equivocada. And you might recognize the opposite of that, to rub somebody the right way. Does anybody got it? I tried to even sing it a little bit. I'm a genie in a bottle, baby. You gotta rub me the right way. Christina Aguilera. Oh, yeah. I'm a genie in a bottle, baby. Gotta rub me the right way, honey. So you got it right there in that song, to rub somebody the wrong way or to rub somebody the right way. And you can tell I love Christina Aguilera and her music because it's starting to rub off on me. Estamos aprendiendo usos, muy buenos usos de la palabra rub. To rub off on es tener efecto, afectar. It's starting to rub off on me. Okay, let's see. German taking a stab at our pop quiz, excuse me. And he says, you're rubbing off with big wigs. To rub off, I wouldn't use it in that way, though. I like that you're using to rub off on somebody, but it's not exactly the one we're looking for. Let's see. Chris says, hi there. You roll shoulders with important people. Me too. Chris, I've never heard this roll shoulders thing, but I'm going to look it up. Roll it. No. Okay, no. Es que yo digo, a lo mejor es inglés o algo. Te está enseñando los ejercicios estos. So to rub, we say to rub shoulders. And I believe, let me just see. I believe I've heard people say rub elbows too. Elbows. Rub elbows too. Yeah, to rub elbows. So, bueno, en inglés tienes dos formas de decirlo. Y he oído los dos. So in Estados Unidos, to rub elbows with someone or to rub shoulders with someone. The other ones we looked at, to rub off on someone. You know, living in Spain has rubbed off on me. My Spanish has improved. Ejemplo perfecto. Y personal, como siempre os digo a vosotros, right? Also, what was the other one I gave you? Oh, to rub somebody the wrong way. I don't know what it is about him, but he rubs me the wrong way. No me gusta, no me cae bien. So I like it, Chris. Roll shoulders. In fact, it was nice. It felt really good for a second there. Rolling my shoulders. And good morning to you, Chris. Laura says, you rub shoulders with very important people. Excellent job. Are you serious, Monse? Monse, everybody back up. Echados para atrás, because we have got the most totally native of the day. Totally native. And that's Monse. And Monse, wow, palabrones. You hobnob with fat cats. Oh my God. You sound, I'm telling you, you sound like an American. You sound like an American. All right. So, folks, let's see. Jay Lima checking in. He says, hi, Double A. You're a legit teacher. Thanks. I appreciate that. Let's see. Laura says, is to push the wrong button to rub someone the wrong way too? Well, I don't know. I haven't heard it like that, Laura. What I've heard with to push somebody's buttons is to insult somebody or say something that you know is going to affect them. Like I always say, your family knows how to push your buttons more than anybody else. Provocarte. So that's a little bit different, if that's what you mean, right? To push the wrong button. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I haven't heard it personally. But if somebody really pushes my buttons, they know which buttons to push. Saben cómo provocar una reacción. Maybe I'm not sure if that's what your question is. But to rub somebody the wrong way, think about it like with electricity, right? Think about, it doesn't connect, right? If you got the negative and the negative, it's not going to connect, right? Oh, and Jay Lima. Oh, I love it, Jay, when people use what I taught them in context and right away so they don't forget it. And Jay Lima says, I hope your lessons rub off on all of us. Excellent. Jay, that's the perfect. Espero que tengan efecto. I mean, now you got it. Jay has just showed us that if you want to really personalize something, you can find a way to make it your own. And that's exactly what he just did. And look at Monse, another one who found a way to say, okay, that's what Kyle said, but I'm going to kick it up a notch. Toma expresión. To kick it up a notch. Subir el listón. No, ponerle, si está en el 10, ponerlo en el 11. Si está en el 10, en el 9, ponerlo en el 10. You kick it up a notch. And it was a famous chef in the United States. I don't know if he's still on TV there, but a really, really famous chef named Emeril Lagasse. And I think he was from Louisiana. And every time he had this catchphrase, and anytime he was cooking and he would add some more pepper or some extra salt to his dish, he would always say, let's kick it up a notch. Bam! And he would throw, and it was the guy, I don't know if he was I imagine he was a good cook, a good chef, because he was very, very famous. He still is, I imagine. I'm saying was because I haven't heard much, but I used to love it. And it was a popular catchphrase. And it's still said, we're going to kick it up a notch. No, I don't know how you would say this. The word notch is something on your belt, right? A ver cómo se dice. Your buckle es la hebilla. Yo sé, por vocabulario bastante raro ahí. Notch, agujero, corte, muesca, escalón. So there it is. I didn't even know notch was escalón. I've used the word escalón in Spanish, but I never associated the two of them. Let's see. Nihad's in the chat room saying, good morning, lovely people. Good morning, our awesome friend Nihad. Monse says, thanks, guys. Truth said, I've learned that fat cat's expression from How I Met Your Mother some years ago. Excellent. Well, Monse, what are you trying to say? Are you trying to tell us that if you watch series and you watch movies in English that you're going to learn expressions and pronunciation and all kinds of interesting things? Yes, absolutely. Oh, and speaking of movies, guys, as you know, the show with no name is proud to sponsor, proud because you know me, I love movies, and this is where I go, proud to sponsor Kinépolis, where you can watch movies in English in a comfy or cozy seat. Son dos formas de decir muy cómodo. And what I love too, the collector's stuff. Like I have I'll show you guys. I'll get it during the break. I have the Top Gun cup. I have the Top Gun, not the Top Gun, the Maverick popcorn tub. So, when I tell you I love movies and I love going to the movies, I mean it. And well, Kinépolis is awesome. They are our sponsor. Guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break right now, but we'll be back in 2 minutes with tons more. So stick around. And action. The show with no name is sponsored by Kinepolis. And action. The show with no name is sponsored by Kinepolis. Hey, amigos. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name. Exclusively on Vaughn Radio. Welcome back. Welcome back to part 2 of today's show. We've got so much to do and so many amigos who have joined us. Don't forget, after today's show, you've got Jules Linares and her program, Let's Get Random. Also today, you got the boys from Speaking Football. That's Tommy Hay and Ruben Palomero, along with Kyle Miller and Drive Time, Tosh Pasqua, Back to Basics, and so many other amazing programs. Don't forget to download the free Vaughn Radio app, and this way you won't miss a beat. This is an expression, no perderás un compás, ni una nota. You won't miss a beat. También es una canción de los Kaiser Chiefs, by the way, que es súper buena la canción. Check it out. Never Miss a Beat by the Kaiser Chiefs. As you know, we're always learning English with music, as I said, and movies before. But right now, it's time for another challenge. It's time for Say What? Say what? What? That's right, amigos. It's the Say What soundbite only on the show with no name. And some days you guys get this perfectly. Most days. But other days, hey, I'm just saying, but that's the way life works because not everybody speaks the same. I was talking to a friend this morning and I was saying, dude, Tronco, I was watching a video of me in New York like 20 something years ago. It was 2000, the year 2000. And so 23 years ago. And I mean, I was still a flipado, as my wife said, like, hey, trying to be cool and stuff. but I mumbled a lot. I was like, "Hey guys, we're here in New York, and it's a cool place." I was gesturing, gesticulando, but I didn't open my mouth very much. And well, when you become a broadcaster, locutor, you learn acting. También estudié interpretación, so you learn to enunciate and to pronounce your words. So we can even improve. We can become better speakers of our own language here. I'm not even talking about learning English. You can become a better communicator in Spanish by following a certain guidelines and knowing other languages. It's been proven makes you a better communicator, makes you better at languages, including your own, el tuyo, el propio. All right, so folks, here's where we hear a lot of different accents. Today's is a piece of cake, pan comido. So I expect all of you to at least give it a try or to take a stab at it. Dos formas de decir, intentarlo. Here we go. This is the Say What soundbite for the first time. Please write down what you hear.
But they brought in the concierge from downstairs, handcuffed, with a gun up to him. So they were yelling at me in French. And I just sat up, and they kept on saying, the ring, the ring. And I was just so startled. I was like,
all right, there you go, folks. Some good vocabulary. And speaking of good communicators, hello. Like, I wish everybody spoke like this person, right? So today, I don't think it's in the cero patatero category. Today, I think everybody can figure it out. We'll see. We'll take a look over here. Let me play it for you a second time, and then we will discuss. Remember, I want you to give me your observations in your best English possible. Impress me, right? I'm your English teacher, so impress me with your English. Dot your I's, cross your T's. Decimos igual. Pon los puntos sobre las I's, right? Same expression. Dot your I's, cross your T's, and make it look nice. Make it sound nice. Bueno, el sound me toca a mí. But remember, if you don't add commas, I don't know where to pause. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right. Chris, I love it. Chris Valrol says, sometimes it's tough understanding your own compatriots. Absolutely. I told you there were many times when we were down on our honeymoon, down because we were down south, where my wife said, what did he say? And I said, oh, he said, if we want a sandwich. And there were other times where I was like, I have no fucking clue what he just said. Just nod your head. Sienta la cabeza, and that was it. So I get you. I've been there. All right, here we go, folks. This is the second listen of today's Say What soundbite. Please write down what you hear.
But they brought in the concierge from downstairs, handcuffed, with a gun up to him. So they were yelling at me in French. And I just sat up, and they kept on saying, the ring, the ring. And I was just so startled. I was like,
all right, folks, there you go. There you go. And you'll hear it another 2 times. So I think it's doable. Asequible, no? Se puede, hoy se puede. Some days Laura's the only one. And other days, like today, I expect a lot of you to participate. But first, I just want you to tell me your observations, what you heard in your best English. Also, a quick reminder with the weekend approaching, acercándose, we've got the Jungle Book coming out. The Jungle Book classic. It's the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities classic. It's out this coming Saturday with El Mundo and Marca. It's available at newsstands. It's $6.95, €6.95, $7. And it's the Disney Vaughn collection. We've already released Toy Story 4. I'm getting all 20. Yo me voy a pillar los 20. Toy Story 4, Frozen, Monsters, Bayana, The Lion King, Aladdin, and as I said, the Jungle Book coming up this week. All right, my amigos, so get into it. Whoa! Whoa, whoa. Okay, I know these books come alive, but this is ridiculous. Oh my goodness. Holy cow. Remember, the books come with audio. All right, let's take a look at your comments, your feedback on today's Say What soundbite. Monse says, I think I heard someone keeping up with a robbery. Okay, robbery is un robo, but keeping up with, I'm trying to figure out exactly what you mean there. Manteniéndose al día con. That's the way I interpret it. I'm not sure what you want to say exactly, Monse, but good. Sounds good. Keeping up with it. Manteniéndose al día con ello. Or I don't know. I'm a little bit confused of the verb choice there. Okay. Let's see. Leonardo says, I think it is an American lady who's narrating in an interview an attempt to steal her jewelry by a hooded person who spoke French at gunpoint. I'm sure this girl is very attractive. Great vocabulary over there, narrating, narrando, hooded, con capucha, at gunpoint, right? At gunpoint es con el esto, right? Okay. And what else? Who spoke French? And I'm sure this girl is very attractive. You're just judging by her voice? You shouldn't judge a book by its cover, Leonardo, but... Okay, Monse, you know what I got to do for you right there? It wasn't you. You knew exactly what you were saying. I just didn't get it. It went over my head. Monse, you are, guys, please, somebody grab your phones. Monse, we got to put her out. Don't get too close. She's blazing. Oh my God, Monse, I didn't even catch that. You know you're good when you outsmart the teacher. The teacher's like, huh? She's like, espabila, tío, wake up. Oh, man. Monse, what did you have for breakfast? All right, my amigos. All right, let's take a look then at what we got. Any more comments? Let's see. Born to Iron Man says, are you in a den, double A? I think den is guarida, you say? Guarida? See, that's dangerous territory for me. Also, den is el salón, the living room or the den. Are you in a den, double A? Watch out. Cuidado, watch out tú con como deletreas watch. Watch out with that sweet little cat. Yeah, sweet. It almost bit my head off. Man, did you see that mane? ¿Viste esa melena? Yeah, the mane. Ahí tenéis un homophone. Mane is principal, and mane is also what a lion has. Aha! See, we just learned we learned den, que es un double trump. Wow. Good stuff. Good stuff. Born to Iron Man, you're always playing with words and having fun. Let's see. Laura's got something to say about it. And Laura says, I reckon it is safe to say an American lady is recalling and describing how startled she was during a mugging she suffered in her apartment. It's safe to say, me encanta, se puede decir, that an American lady is recalling, rememorando, and describing, describiendo, how startled, and startled is surprised. Whoa, you startled me. Eso era la palabra. Muy bien. Laura, you're on your way. She was during a mugging, and a mugging es un atraco. So one thing is to pick somebody's pocket, no? Ser carterista, to be a pickpocket. And another thing is to mug somebody, and mug es robar con violencia, con fuerza, using at gunpoint, as our friend Leonardo says, or with a knife or something like that. So great job, Laura. Excellent observations. Chris says, I heard a woman. She's relating some facts about an attempt of robbery, or you can even say attempted robbery. She could hear someone who spoke in French. I think Leo knows perfectly who this girl is, right? Como es indirecta, en vez de who is this girl. It's who this girl is. But yes, I think a lot. Wow. So you guys are familiar with this voice, huh? I wasn't, to be honest. I know a lot of the voices that we hear here on the show, but this one I wasn't familiar with. But when I heard this person's voice, I said, "Oh, that's pretty pleasant. No, es bastante placentero." And she seems like a clear communicator. That's all I know, just based on this here. German says, I think it's about a woman narrating how a guy went about robbing her and a guy. Absolutely. There's something about a robbery. Something is not going well. And she's recalling it. And you know what? You guys did a wonderful job. And I think, I'm almost sure that everybody's going to be able to figure it out today. But it's not time for that yet. It's time for today's Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. That's right, amigos. That's right. It is today's Spelling Bee. And remember, this is where we do what American students do. What do? We have spelling bees our whole lives. I remember having them in high school because spelling in English isn't easy. Why? Because there's so many exceptions. Things are pronounced one way, one time, and like el ejemplo perfecto. Okay, di ven a casa. Come home. Right? Come home. Pero espera, O-M-E es come. Se pronuncia pero en home es om. What? Bueno, y así todo el día con el inglés. So that's a difficult thing. That's another reason we do this as well. Even for native speakers, spelling is something in Spanish it's easier to master. Llegar a dominar, right? Okay, before we start our spelling bee, we've got another comment here. Nihad taking a stab at our Say What soundbite. And he says, I think it is an American woman talking about a kidnapped person, secuestrado, and how it was dealt with as he was handcuffed in esposas. And the weapon was pointed at him, and she was trying to talk to him in a low voice in F, in el tono de F. Oh, in French. All right. Nihad, I'm going to tell you again here. I didn't know where to pause. So I'll tell you. Let me help you. That's what I'm here for. I think it's an American woman talking about a kidnapped person, comma. It's a good place to pause. And how it was dealt with, comma, as he was handcuffed and the weapon was pointed at him. Then you can say, as she was trying to talk to him in a low voice in French. You see what I mean? If that was 3 sentences, each one is really long. So if it's one, it's almost a paragraph. Help me out, Nihad. You got to help me, because if I don't know where to stop and take that pause, it's the first time I'm reading it. So you got to help me out with the punctuation, folks, okay? Let's see. German says the spelling bee is the bee's knees until it's not. The bee's knees. Es la bomba. Great word there. I love it. You just did a double trouble, German. All right, guys, here we go. I'm going to clear my throat. I'm going to take a sip of water because I'm getting ready to fly through this spelling bee. Are you ready? This is round 1 of today's spelling bee. Good luck. What are these words and what do they have in common? The first word is COMPOSITION. The next one is EMPIRE space O-F space L-I-G-H-T. The third one is P-U-P-P-Y. The fourth one is W-O-M-A-N space B-R-I-D-G-E. The fifth one is C-A-N apostrophe T space H-E-L-P space M-Y-S-E-L-F. And the last one is M-A-M-A-N. Whoa. 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 And whoa. I can't go any faster. It's like physically impossible. I don't have enough air in my lungs. Maybe the 22-year-old me. Oh, man. Okay. Anybody? Going once, going twice. I'll give you another couple seconds. Let's throw some music in there. See if we've got any winners. Ladies and Born to Iron Man. The last one is wrong, buddy. Oh, but not a bad effort. The good thing is you get another chance. Yep, that last one, it stinks because of one letter. One letter. Okay. Leonardo says, well done, my friends. Blame my wife. Échale la culpa a mi mujer. Blame my wife. I recognize this lady's voice and her event. Although I also admit I was a little motivated. Great. Well, great. You expressed yourself perfectly, Leonardo. As we say, you've got a way with words. Tienes el don de la palabra. You've got a way with words. All right, anybody going once, going twice? Today's spelling bee. Anyone gonna try and figure it out? All right, round two. This is the nice round. This is where I'm the nice teacher and not that teacher like, pero qué malo este profe. Es que es muy cabrón. No, that's round one. Round two is, oh, menos mal. Here we go, folks. The first, hang on. It looks like we've got a winner right at the buzzer. En el último momento, please give it up for Chris Valrol. And Lupe, you got one letter wrong, Lupe. Oh, man. So, Chris, hey, wait, I wasn't expecting you till the movie, the movie section. Yeah, no, I'm joking. Chris, even though we have people who are, masters in one section, like Born to Iron Man with spelling, you know who you are. I don't have to mention your names. It doesn't mean that they don't do well in the other sections too, right? All right. And Chris says these words are all related with, diríamos, related to the Guggenheim. Absolutely. These are all paintings that are in the Guggenheim collection. And why? Well, why not? I love to talk about art. I consider myself an artist, even if it's just a bullshit artist. Un cuentacuentos. Uno que cuenta cuentos chinos. Today, in 1959, in NYC, New York City, the Solomon R. Guggenheim Museum opened to the public. But we're going to take a look at some masterpieces that are in the Guggenheim collection, period. Because remember, that's not the only Guggenheim. And I'm sure I don't have to tell you people here in Spain that, because I'm sure some New Yorkers, some would be like, oh, we got the Guggenheim. And people in Bilbao can say, yeah, us too. So, hey, just saying. So we're going to look at stuff from the Guggenheim collection in general. And today in 1959, the iconic New York Guggenheim opened up, and it is on Museum Mile, which I'm thinking about doing an episode of FYI on Museum Mile. Well, I can do one on each museum there, but if I do an episode on the whole, mile, es una milla. It's located on Central Park West. Se nota que no vivo ahí. I had to get my bearings. Central Park, what? No, Central Park East. Central Park West is the other side. See? To get my bearings. West es el que está tocando el resto del país. East es el que va hacia el Atlántico. So it's obviously east. And, whoa, man, Museum Mile. You could go to New York for 2 weeks and just spend every day on that mile, just full of museums. And one of the most famous ones, obviously, being the Guggenheim. It looks like a shell, like a snail kind of shell. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. That staircase, that spiral staircase. All right, let me give you these paintings, these sculptures, these works of art, these masterpieces, again, at a very normal speed. Then what we'll do is we'll take a quick commercial break. We'll come back. We'll look at that. We've got homophones. We've got movies. We've got so much to do in the second half of today's show. So here we go, my amigos. Pay attention. Pay close attention. The first word is COMPOSITION. The second one is EMPIRE space OF space LIGHT. The next one, the third one, is PUPPY. The fourth one is WOMAN space BRIDGE. The fifth one is CAN apostrophe T space HELP space MYSELF. And the last one is MAMAN. There you go, my amigos. Good luck. We'll take a look at that and much more in the second half of today's show. I can't believe how fast time is just flying by. Folks, we'll be right back with tons more, so stick around. And action. The show with no name is sponsored by Kinepolis. and action. The show with no name is sponsored by Kinepolis. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name, exclusively on Vaughn Radio, and happily sponsored by Kinepolis. Remember, you've got Kinepolis all over Spain. That's right. There are 2 in Madrid and tons of theaters, salas, in each one. And did I mention that it's cozy? Es cómodo? Not just the seats. I mean, it's cozy because I can watch the movies in English. Oh, man. What a breath of fresh air. It wasn't so easy when I moved to Spain. Okay, I was lucky. I lived in the center, so that if you were going to catch something in its original version, it was going to be there. But now, thanks to, the popularity of English in Spain, you're able to have more options than ever, not just at the movies when you go to Kinepolis, but also when you watch your TV. A lot of times you can put the content in English as well. So awesome stuff, especially for those of you, who are using it as a study tool, as we saw with Monse. Is it working? Absolutely. Monse showed us. She's like, oh, you want me to sound like a native? Watch this. And the whole time she enjoyed the series. I love How I Met Your Mother. I think it's awesome. I watched it religiously during, probably a year or 2 of my life. I just remember running home. Oh, I'm going to watch this. Now we're going to watch 10 episodes today. And yeah, I remember saying, oh, my students would love this. I'm sure back in the day, I recommended it. All right, well, we've got so much to do, amigos. So let's kick off the second half of the show with homophones. That's Say What. This is homophones.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, because homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Because homophones time, it's homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
That's right. That's right, my amigos. You know it. It is time for the homophone section. And also, I want to send a nice round of applause to all our spelling bee winners. Wow. Marta, Giggler, and so many other people got it on that second round. Excellent job. We'll take a look at those masterpieces in just a moment. But first, we've got to look at our homophones. Again, I want to know what these 2 words are, and I want to know if they sound exactly the same or not. The first word is Navidad, and it's not Christmas. Bueno, son sinónimos, ¿no? So, Navidad. That's the first word. Oh, and it's a common name in English as well. Es un nombre de alguien que me recuerda a un nombre en español. No sé si está vinculado. Vamos a ver. Hoy vamos a descubrir. We're going to learn some etymology of names too. So again, it's another way of saying Christmas. Okay, that is the first word. The second word is a small hill. It says here Loma, Otero, Altozano. Joder, hay gente que estos son apellidos comunes. Jaime Altozano, Julia Otero. And they have the same last name. What? I told you we were going to discover some weird etymology here. Whoa. Okay, so Loma, Otero, Altozano, a small hill. That's your second word. And the first word is another word for Christmas. All right. And also what we're going to do is listen to our Say What soundbite. This is the third listen. Guys, jot this down.
But they brought in the concierge from downstairs, handcuffed, with a gun up to him. So they were yelling at me in French. And I just sat up and they kept on saying the ring, the ring. And I was just so startled. I was like,
all right, folks, there you go. You're going to hear that one more time. You'll get one more chance. I think it's easy peasy lemon squeezy today, but we'll see. Let's check out our homophones and see what you guys got. Oh, nobody's participating. All right, well, let's do the spelling bee, and then we'll come back to the homophones. Hey, let's do that since many people have participated. All right, as I said, these are all works from the Guggenheim collection. They're not all in New York. Some of them are in Bilbao and other Guggenheim exhibits. Some of them travel as well. The first one was Composition 8. Omití el ocho. I left it out. Composition by Vasily Kandinsky. Now, these are, I looked up the 10 most popular pieces of art or artworks, dos formas de decirlo, in the Guggenheim collection. So this is not my opinion, but I mean, I look at this Kandinsky Composition 8, and I'm like, yeah, I know that one. It's a famous one. The next one is Empire of Light. Es que solo el nombre mola. Empire of Light. And it's by Magritte, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful painting. I think the first one, I go, okay, Kandinsky's Kandinsky, right? But this is like, it's a triangle, a circle. Okay, I know they're colored. The shading is beautiful, but it's a little too modern art for me. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying anything against Kandinsky. Don't crucify me. But this Magritte, I would rather look at this for 20 minutes than the other one. Because this Magritte over here, you could get lost in it. It's called Empire of Light. If you want to take a look, you can take a look at it. Empire of Light. And the clouds, I mean, you want to just jump into the clouds. There's an evergreen tree, which is a type of Christmas tree, and you just see the shadow. And then there's just one street lamp. Hay una farola ahí. And it's lighting up these 3 little windows. And then it's a beautiful, I mean, for me, that speaks to me. I feel like I've seen that scene when I look at that, I feel like it's my father's pueblo, my father's little village, when I look at Empire of Light. So again, no offense to Kandinsky, but Empire of Light, I could talk about that for hours. The next one is Puppy, not to be confused with Poopy. Somebody please tell my wife that. Well, you know this one because this one is located where? In Bilbao. It's that big puppy, ese cachorro, that was designed by Jeff Koons, artist Jeff Koons. They've also got the spider. I love Bilbao one has got some really cool stuff without even going inside. In New York, you don't have room on the street to put too much, street art out there. But because of the way the Guggenheim is designed in Bilbao, you don't even have to go in the building. Like I've been in the building, but I remember walking around the building and just being inspired. So that's obviously the building itself is a work of art. And then if you got works of art, and this is a big shrub. Es un arbusto enorme. It's a big shrub, a big bush with flowers. It's very colorful. I'm sure you've all seen it. And it's a puppy. It's a big puppy. And that one was done in 1992. The next one is Woman on a Bridge. Woman on a Bridge, 1 of 5. Ya sabes, los artistas tienen 5 o 6 versiones. This is by Faith Ringgold. And I consider myself an artist, but I'm not familiar with Faith Ringgold. But this is, I got to be honest, it's a beautiful painting. There's so much happening in it. It's got the George Washington Bridge in the background. This is a good exercise you can do as well. You can look at a painting and describe it. It's hard enough to do in your own language because you got to be descriptive. So I'm looking at a painting which looks like it's a painting with a quilt around it. Estas mantas con trocitos. It looks like it's a quilt. So it almost looks like it's like pulled out of a grandma's house. Like it was just one of those frames, uno de los cuadros que tenía ahí. And then you've got these people, they look like they're Latino, And they're sitting around a table on a rooftop. I imagine it's Washington Heights in New York. And so you see the skyline of New York, you see they're having some watermelon, and you see the kids lying on a blanket under the stars. And remember, all this is taking place on the roof, que es nuestro patio, es nuestro azotea in New York City. So it's a beautiful, see, now this one again, I could look at this for hours. And then there's a man jumping off the bridge. And no, there's a woman, se llama Woman on a Bridge, and she's jumping off the bridge. So, you've got this family scene. Think about the paradox here, right? You got a family scene, beautiful, typical New York summer night. It's hot, but they're outside. They're keeping cool, and there's somebody committing suicide in the background. That's pretty hardcore. I mean, that's pretty serious. If you want to take a look at it, excuse me, it's Faith Ringgold, Woman on a Bridge, number 1 of 5, Tar Beach, 1998. Again, I'm not telling you the artist's interpretation. I'm telling you mine. I'm looking at it, but I think it's a great exercise because you can look at it and see something totally different. But can you explain what you're seeing in English? The next one is called Can't Help Myself. No lo puedo evitar. And this one is pretty hardcore. This is like, first, it's designed by 2 people, Sun Yuan and Peng Yu. It was designed in 2016. And it's like this mechanical robot arm. This isn't a painting. This is one of these pieces of art that's interactive. I mean, you can't touch it, but it's moving. It's like, what's the word I'm looking for? Multimedia. And it's got what appears to be a sweeper, a dust, cuando barres la casa, but there's like blood stains, and it's pretty like futuristic looking. I understand why it would be a favorite, because it's like mixing like old technology with new technology. Again, just the fact that I don't know and it's making me curious, that means it's a pretty interesting piece of art, right? It's making me say, but I think it's this, but it could be this. Maybe it's a symbol of this. It's making people talk. And that's what art should do. A good movie, what happens after you see a good movie at Kinépolis? What happens? You go have a beer or a coffee after and you talk about it, right? And you can't wait to say, and what did you think? Did you know about the brother? Because I didn't know about the brother. I thought the brother was a good guy the whole time, and it fooled me. That's art. That makes you talk. It makes you feel. It makes you share an opinion about something. That's the beauty of art, right? And then the last one we're looking at is Maman. Mammon? Mammon? Mammon. No, it's Maman. Well, I don't know. We should ask Louis Bourgeois, who in 1999 designed this spider. It looks like a daddy long leg spider. And this one is also located in Bilbao. I love the arts. You guys know it. Always take advantage anytime you can, especially those of you who live in Madrid, Seville, Barcelona, these cities where there are not only museums, but you've got Roman ruins. Look at, what is it called? Ahora se me olvida. I love it too. It's beautiful. El que tiene el anfiteatro. It's got the Roman amphitheater. Help me out, guys. You know the place I'm talking. I mean, there are many. It's got the Roman bridge. I mean, you want to go to Rome? You don't have to. You've got it here in Spain. We've got really everything. It's amazing. All right. Now, I've bought you guys more than enough time here on the homophone section. Let's see how you did. The first word is, again, another word for Christmas. I'll give you a clue, a musical clue. The first, the first, It's that word. Okay. All right. Do you know that Christmas carol? It's a classic one, right? Un villancico. All right. Let's see. The first person to participate is Monse. And Monse, you got the words, but you mixed them up. The first word is, para que no te líes. The first word you gave me is la colina pequeña. And the second word you gave me is Navidad. So just to make sure we got the order right, the first word was Navidad, the second word was colina. So we got to flip them. Vamos en ese orden para no liar, okay? So the Christmas word, I'm going to sing it for you. Well, let's see what Monse says. She said, just letting you know the words are flipped. And she goes, if so, I don't know if they're homophones. Sorry, I'm not familiar with them yet. Great. So you're learning some new words. Anybody want to take a stab at it? Let's see. Cristina says, and are homophones in American English. Interesting. So it's an American or British thing. Let's see. ESD says, I love museums. I learned so much. Me too. I have to admit, I don't go as often now with my child, but soon she's going to be old enough to at least go to, I'm not saying huge museums, but to go see an exhibit. She loves art already. So, and remember, kids love what you love. So if you take them to museums, they'll go to museums. If you take them to bars, they'll want to go to bars. I don't know. I'm not an expert in anything. Let's see. ESD says they're homophones. Oh, yeah, Mérida. That's the place. Thank you, Born to Iron Man. Oh, what a magical place. Really. Mérida. All right. Also, guys, I just realized we have a Say What soundbite winner. No surprise here. She's on fire, as always. Laura. That's right, Laura. Awesome job. Awesome job on the Say What soundbite. So I've got people saying yes, and I've got people saying no about the homophones. All right, well, let's get it right out of the way. I'm going to sing the song for you. The first Noel, the first Noel. Why do they have to sing so loud, so high? The first Noel. Noel. And Noel is a girl's name, right? Noel. This is what I was saying. For me in Spanish, it's Noelia, isn't it? Maybe it's not, but because I like that. Me encanta el nombre Noelia. I think it's a really nice name. And in English, if you take out the ia, it's Noel. Noel. All right. Again, just sing the song with me. The first Noel. 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 Okay? Noel, guys. And the second word reminds me of the JFK assassination. They said that they heard shots coming from the grassy, con mucho césped, the grassy knoll. The grassy knoll. All right, now I'm going to say both words. They were singing Noel, about Christmas, singing songs about Noel on the grassy knoll. That's in American English. I don't know. Maybe in British English they say Noel. No, I think they say Noel. The first Noel. Yeah, it's the song. So Noel versus Noel. Do they sound the same? No, they don't. So a nice round of applause to everybody who wasn't fooled there. They don't sound the same. All right, it's time to move on, though. It's time for Name That Movie. Name That Movie. That's right, amigos. That's right. It's Name That Movie, only on the Show with No Name. And here's where I'll mention our sponsor again, our amigos over at Kinépolis. Remember, you got them all over Spain. There's one in Valencia. Hey, Born to Iron Man. There you go. I know you're in the Valencia area. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said. Oh, maybe you're a man of mystery. Sorry, I let the cat. There's me and my big mouth again. Sorry, I didn't mean to dox you. To dox. Esta palabra no existía cuando yo era un chaval. To dox es porque no existía internet. Es poner la información personal de alguien en internet. I wish the word didn't exist. That's pretty great. Imagine somebody putting your bank account information, like your phone number on the internet. It's called doxing. It exists for a reason. All right, here we go, folks. Here's today's Name That Movie. I'm just going to start by saying I love this movie. It reminds me of my childhood, and it's a ridiculous, funny movie. And if you haven't seen it, I recommend it. I mean, it's an 80s movie, so you don't expect, the monsters, the Marvel universe to show up, okay? So it's an overstressed suburbanite and his neighbors are convinced that the new family on the block is part of a murderous satanic cult. Whoa. I've heard satanic and satanic. Okay. The person is Satan, not the person, the being, the creature, whatever. Satanás is Satan. Satan. Yo me como late. I don't say Satan. I say Satan, right? But I've heard people say satanic and satanic, just so you know. The Addams Family, Monse says, no. They're creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky. They're all together ooky. The Addams Family. Boo-doo-boo-doom. No. In fact, I'm going to give you this, even though it's a good guess. I like to use that from time to time. We've got a winner. No surprise here. She is the queen, our movie queen, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Valroy. That's right. The flick is The Burbs. That's right. The Burbs, which means the suburbs, right? The suburbs, the burbs. And this movie stars Tom Hanks. He's awesome in this movie. He's funny. And who else is in it? Carrie Fisher. Oh, my God. How can I forget? Carrie Fisher played his wife. And Corey Feldman was in the movie. He was like the neighbor who was always blasting heavy metal music. Oh, it's a fun, I mean, don't expect a masterpiece or anything. But, oh, man, I love it. I love this movie. It just reminds me of being young. And I saw it at the movie theater, you know. And it's when movies were an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes tops. Now they're not 6 hours like now. Well, it still has a good rating on IMDb. It's got almost 7 out of 10. Casi 7 de 10. So very funny movie, and you'll recognize so many of the actors from it as well. Let's take a look. An overstressed, o sea, sobreestresado, makes sense. Suburbanite, somebody who lives in the suburbs. The suburbs doesn't have a negative connotation in English. It's not like it's a scary area. Suburbs is normally a very normal, average kind of life, as opposed to city life. So a suburbanite and his neighbors, sus vecinos, are convinced that the new family on the block, La Manzana, is part of a murderous satanic cult. Let's take a look at the scene that I've chosen. The movie came out in 1989, by the way. So right there at the tail end of the 80s. The character named Mark Rumsfeld says, well, first there's some stage direction, indicaciones, and it says Ray takes Walter's toupee, his toupee is his wig, out of his shorts. Oh, God. He has his wig in sus pantalones cortos. Oh, no. And he says, are you implying, estás infiriendo, are you inferring, are you implying that you've been carrying that around in your shorts all day? That's pretty gross. Es asqueroso, no? And Ray says, well, after you left Walter's house yesterday, I slipped this back in through the mail slot. And to slip is como meterlo, pero like escurrir, because the word slip is escurrir. Slip it in the mailbox there. We've looked at the word before, I know. So I slipped this back in through the mail slot. Now, in the United States, I don't think it's as common anymore, but doors used to have a mail slot, una ranura, slot, where they would put the mail. And then Art, another one of the neighbors, says, well, where'd you get this then? Entonces, ¿dónde obtuviste esto? Where'd you get this then? And Ray gestures, gesticula, he gestures to the Klopek house, which is the new neighbors there. And Ray says, after the dog came up out of the basement, el sótano, I found it wedged. And if something's wedged, está como apretado entre dos cosas. What's the word here? Wedged. Let me look it up for you. Wedged is colocado, calzado, right? Está entre dos cosas. It's wedged in there. You got to pull it out. I found it wedged in between a bunch of magazines, revistas, all of which, I might add, were addressed to Walter, que iban destinados a Walter. And Art says, that means that, eso significa que, and Mark cuts him off, le interrumpe. And he goes, Klopek went back into the house and got the hair. Y cogió el toupee, the hair. What do we do now, soldier? ¿Qué hacemos ahora, soldado? He says. And Ray says, well, you heard them say they're leaving tomorrow morning, right? Oíste que decían que se iban mañana por la mañana, ¿no? As soon as they're gone, I'm going over that fence. El momento que se vayan, yo voy a escalar la valla. I'm going over that fence, and I'm not coming back until I find a dead body, un cadáver. All right, folks, we are taking our final commercial break. I can't believe it. We've got so much to do, and we've got 26 minutes. So, if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. And action. The show with no name is sponsored by Kinepolis. And action. The show with no name is sponsored by Kinepolis. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name, exclusively on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget, right after today's show, you've got Jules Linares and her program, Let's Get Random, where you'll learn a little bit about everything. Don't forget to download our free app, and this way you never miss a beat. No te pierdes ni una. Folks, follow us on social media. You can also contact us via our website, grupovon.com. You can find out about all our interesting things that we've got, from private classes to group classes to even Vaughn Town. Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughn Town, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughn Town, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovon.com or give us a call, 911-3858 5831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughntown. There you go, folks. More information at grupovon.com. If you're looking for materials, it's vaughntienda.com. If you want to contact us, you can do it at any of those places. You can contact us via social media or give us a call, 911-385831. And folks, it's time for today's Double Trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up.
Double. Sing it. Double trouble. Sing it now.
I said
Double. You're not singing. Double trouble. If I can sing, you can sing. Double.
double trouble.
Hey, at least it's not triple.
I said double. Double trouble.
That's right. Today's Double Trouble is a bit tricky, but I know deep down in my heart someone's going to get it. I don't know who, but someone is going to get it. Let's see. You got to use the same word twice, and good luck. La vida son fluctuaciones, literalmente. Altibajos, ¿no? Las cosas van para un lado, es como a pendulum, right? Sometimes it goes one way, sometimes. So, la vida son fluctuaciones / altibajos. A veces hay que dejarse llevar. It's true. This is not just a double trouble. This is a philosophy. La vida son altibajos, que fluctúa. ¿Se dice así? You could say it fluctuates. Sí se puede decir, pero no es la palabra que busco. Okay? Or ups and downs. Maybe I just helped you. But that's not the one I'm looking for, pero ups and downs son altibajos. I'm giving you too many clues. I'm going to shut my mouth, if that's possible, for 1 second. Also, as I said, Laura got the Say What soundbite. But guys, you get one more listen. Here it is, today's Say What soundbite for the 4th time.
But they brought in the concierge from downstairs, handcuffed, with a gun up to him. So they were yelling at me in French. And I just sat up, and they kept on saying, the ring, the ring. And I was just so startled. I was like,
all right, there you go, my amigos. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. Born to Iron Man says, you're right, Double A. And sorry for doxing you. I was just thinking, hey, te viene bien, you know. I didn't mean to tell people where you live. Although I think your classmates might even know. You know, everybody knows in the general area. I know where a lot of you live. I know exactly where you live. I've been stalking all of you. No, I'm joking. Born to Iron Man says, you're right, Double A. There are 2 Kinépolis in my neck of the woods. In mi zona. One in Valencia and the other in Alcira. Awesome, awesome. So you've got no excuses. You can catch up with Chris Valrol and become the movie king if you'd like one day. All right, well, let's see who's our Double Trouble king or queen today. Because this Double Trouble, it ain't easy. But somebody's going to get it. I'm pretty sure of it. Okay? So it's la vida es, you would say in Spanish, right? Altibajos. Okay? That's probably my mistake there. La vida es, you would say. La vida es bella. Yeah. La vida es fluctuaciones. Es altibajos, ¿no? A veces subes, a veces bajas. Y la segunda parte, a veces hay que dejarse llevar. All right. Good luck, ladies and gentlemen. There's ESD, and he says the soundbite sounds like an American girl retelling a story of how she was being robbed of her ring. Excellent job, ESD. Nice. Nice summary over there. Short and sweet. And you got all the key information as well. All right. Going once. Going twice. Anybody going to take a stab at today's Double Trouble? Ooh, did I really make it? I didn't mean it to be that difficult. Obviously, I want it to be challenging, but I don't want, I don't want people to be like discouraged, echados para atrás because you're scared. And remember, if you make a mistake, I don't give a damn. You're supposed to, especially if you're learning new things, right? Again, like I said yesterday and many times, mistakes are welcome in a class, especially if you correct them, right? Because you might say people is 50 times, but the 51st time, maybe you'll say people are. That's my hope. Just by hearing it over and over again. All right, anybody going once, going twice? I find it hard to believe that not just that nobody is, nobody knows the answer, but that nobody's even trying. Oh, wow. Okay, all right. Let's break it down. Vamos a desglosarlo un poco aquí. Okay, so I said you could say life is ups and downs. Life's a roller coaster. It's another way to say it too. Life is a series of fluctuations, or it fluctuates, right? You know this from the flux capacitor and Back to the Future. But I said life ebbs and flows. And to ebb and flow, la palabra es E-B-B, and flow. It's guys, it's a collocation. It goes together. Ebb and flow. Now, it's tidal movement. Ciclo de la marea, flujo y reflujo. So it means it comes back and then it goes back again, and it comes up on the shore and it goes back again. And such is life, such as economy, such as everything, right? It ebbs and flows. Let me give you the example they give you here. Altibajos, fluctuaciones. Consumer spending, okay, gastos de consumidores, on such products tends to follow the ebb and flow of the economy. I guess here they're talking about luxury, or, what are considered extras, incidentals. When the economy is tough, right? Well, that directly affects spending, right? It ebbs and it flows. Retrocede, right? It says flujo y reflujo. So that's the literal sense, is el mar, right? It ebbs and it flows. But again, when we talk about it in business, it means that, it's a cycle, it's a pendulum. It comes back around again and again and again and again. So it ebbs and flows. Life ebbs and flows. Yo lo he usado directamente como, or you can say life is ebbs and flows, la vida es, but I just said life ebbs and flows. Retrocede y vuelve, retrocede. Life ebbs and flows. Sometimes you just have to go with the flow. There you go. And flow is flujo. Think of a river. If you're going with the flow, you're not going against the grain. You can say to go against the flow too, but it's very common to say to go against the grain. But in a river, if you're, on a nice little comfortable inner tube and you're just going down the river, you're just going with the flow. It's a good way to remember this expression. Excuse me. There's also a very popular song. Well, it was when I was a little bit younger. And I believe it's the Queens of the Stone Age. You can go with the flow. Oh, you can go with the flow. It's a great way to learn that expression. Okay. So our very tricky double trouble. This one was really tough, guys, but hey, that means you're learning new things, right? If you didn't know the homophones, that means I just taught you new things. If you didn't know these double troubles, that means you're learning new things. And you know how hard it is to teach new things, especially to students like yourself, students who are hungry for more. I'm like, I got to keep coming at them with the latest vocabulary. Make sure do they know this one? And that happens to me. I don't even really, I do. I say I don't enjoy, but I really do enjoy watching series and things like that and movies. But I always whip out my phone and I always say, esta va al show with no name, or esta viene a FYI. So I'm out there with my feelers, beep, 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 and I'm picking up these words and I'm delivering them to you. So life ebbs and flows. Sometimes you just have to go with the flow. And if we're going to go with the flow, then right now it's time for You're Joking.
Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar.
You're joking. That's right, my amigos. You're joking. This is a part of the show. Wait, I didn't even tell the joke yet. I didn't even tell the joke, guys. You can't laugh already. Let me tell the joke. I know you're anticipating and expecting a hilarious joke. But let me get this one here, okay? Let me get it out, and then you can laugh. Oh, I know why you guys are laughing, because the giggler's here, and laughing is contagious. Okay, so how do you communicate with a fish? Okay. Y esto es interesante. ¿Qué es el plural de fish? One fish, two fish. Pero tiene sus excepciones, claro, es inglés. When we talk about tipos de pescado, I like a lot of different kind of fishes. I like salmon, so it's weird. It's singular most of the time, but there are exceptions, right? Es como person, people. También se puede decir persons, pero suenas como un detective en un crimen. You sound like Sherlock Holmes. You say, there were 4 persons at the party. I'd be like, okay, do you think I'm a witness? Soy testigo? All right, so how do you communicate? Y ojo, he oído communicate 1000 veces. Esa U es you. Communicate. Dilo conmigo. I communicate with my community, right? I'm thinking of other words that have that sound. And we, no se me ocurre. Es la U que suena a you, la letra. Communicate. How do you communicate with a fish? Oh, easy. Just drop it a line. No? No? Even if I put a splash in there? So how do you communicate with a fish? Anybody? Anybody get it? How do you communicate with a fish? You drop it a line. Oh, man, that's funny. If you got it, great. Now explain it to the rest of your classmates. I know, the joke made a splash. Causó una sensación. All right, I'll stop. Hey, bueno, si no sabías la expresión, to make a splash. So do you get it? To drop it a line. Okay, German, you're doing exactly what I don't want you to do, which is just tell me one meaning. You're assuming I know the other meaning. I don't know it. I no speak English. I know nothing. Como hables así, we got to go back to square one. I know nothing. So, German, it's good, but remember, a pun is 2 meanings. So I want to know both of them, right? I feel like I don't explain it clear enough sometimes. Okay, let's see. Laura says to drop a line is to fish. Yeah, line. A fishing line is sedal, you call it? That's fishing line. And to drop a line in the water is to go fishing, right? You use a fishing pole or a fishing rod, and then you got fishing line, right? And you drop a line in the water, and you hope you get a bite. Hopefully, you'll catch a fish. What I usually catch is pneumonia. So to drop a line, and also it's to leave somebody a message. Absolutely. Great job, Laura. Thanks for your thorough explanation. But drop me a line can be anything. It doesn't only mean a message, right? Drop me a line. Dime algo, I think would be the translation in Spanish. Drop me a line once you know what's going on. Dime, I think the perfect translation, dime algo. Now, that can mean write me a text message, a WhatsApp, or give me a call, shoot me an email, right? But drop me a line is very open. Let me give you some of my favorite ways to say dime algo, contacta conmigo. These are my favorite ways. Drop me a line, dime algo. Reach out to me when you know the answer. Thanks for reaching out. Gracias por contactar. So to drop a line, to reach out, to keep in touch. Okay, keep in touch is another one. These are certain, guys, there are certain things that we use in business that are just like, it's a script. Es un guión. So did you like the joke? How do you communicate with a fish? Drop it a line. All right, well, folks, it's time for famous birthday trivia. That's right, amigos. It's famous birthdays only on the show with no name. But before we begin, there's another totally native for Laura. Yeah, that's right. I'll keep you posted. Another way to say te mantendré al día. Laura, you guys are on fire today. All right, let's see how well you do in the famous birthday trivia. The first person was born in 1971. He is a singer, songwriter, and bass player. The bass, el bajo. Bass, hablando de fish, bass es lubina. Why am I telling you that? They're spelt exactly the same. Okay, like the word wound and wound that we heard yesterday. So now what groups would you know him from? Well, he was the former anterior bassist of the group Caius. But later, he joined the Queens of the Stone Age. That was from 1998 to 2004. And we mentioned the Queens of the Stone Age before. We talked about their song, Déjate llevar, Go with the Flow. So there you go, the bassist of that group. Number two, lleva pescadora. Oh, there's another fish reference. Well, lleva is to llevar. And pescadora, somebody who va de pesca, that's her name. You might know her as Princess Leia. Yeah, her, si no sabes aquí, she was also in The Burbs, today's Name That Movie. I made it easy for you there. And last but not least, she was born in 1980. An American reality TV personality, actress, model, businesswoman, socialite, probably the most famous person in the United States. And I don't mean like athlete. I mean just person who's a person. And she's got a show, Keeping Up With, y es su apellido. But it comes from the expression to keep up with the Joneses. Keeping up with the Joneses, los Jones, significa intentando superar al vecino y mantener el nivel. Él se compra un BMW, pues yo también. I think that's a dangerous game, but that's what Hollywood promotes, right? Keeping up with the Kardashians. And we've got a winner over here. Please give it up for Chris Van Roll. Number one, Nick Oliveri. His name is Nick Oliveri, and he is from Caius and from the Queens of the Stone Age. If you haven't heard that song, give it a listen. Go with the flow. Why? Well, it's going to teach you that expression, and it's a kick-ass song. Lo peta la canción. Number two, Lleva pescadora, Carrie Fisher. Well, okay, let's not disrespect Princess Leia here. And last but not least, Kim Noel Kardashian. You know the name Noel, que significa Navidad? Puede ser Noelia en español. ¿Lo hemos averiguado? Did we decide whether Noel is Noelia? I mean, it's got to be. It's got to be. Tiene que ser, right? No? I don't know. Well, that's Kim Kardashian's middle name. And we know now that that word doesn't sound like knoll. A small hill is a knoll. It's Noel. Kimberly Noel Kardashian. And that is today's Say What soundbite. And I have to say, okay, I know nothing about reality TV or anything like that. But I'll tell you one thing. When I heard her speak here, where she's telling this story of how she got robbed, an attempted robbery and kidnapping, I was like, wow, she's really, I mean, obviously she's gone to the finest schools, I imagine, but she's quite eloquent and she really speaks very clearly. And she says they brought in the concierge from downstairs, desde abajo. He was handcuffed en esposas with a gun up to him, con una pistola le apuntaban. So they were speaking, yelling at me. Se corrige, dice, no, me estaban gritando. They were yelling at me in French. And I just sat up. Incorporarse is to sit up, y que lo dicen pasado. And they kept on saying, the ring, dame el anillo. And I was just so startled, sorprendida, asustada. Here it is, folks, Kim Kardashian.
But they brought in the concierge from downstairs, handcuffed, with a gun up to him. So they were speaking, yelling at me in French. And I just sat up, and they kept on saying, the ring. And I was just so startled. I was like,
oh, and the I was like at the end is yo dije, right? I was like is a very American way of saying I said. Okay. All right. Here we go, my amigos. As always, it's time for our final section. Name that lyric.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is. No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's Name That Lyric, and thus, por eso, our final section. Thank you so much to all of you who join me, not just today, but all throughout the week. It's always a pleasure to spend this time with you guys, even when I'm tired, even when I'm under the weather. Estoy un poco pachuchillo hoy. Yeah, my daughter brings home every virus possible from school. Parents, you feel my pain. So thank you for being here today and every day. I'm going to give you the name of the song because I already told you to listen to it, so you should have written it down. It's Queens of the Stone Age, Go With the Flow. And I want you guys to Google it, Go With the Flow, Queens of the Stone Age, because we're going to sing it together in just a moment. So thank you for all of you. And thanks for going with the flow here on the show with no name and getting what we're doing. You got Jules up next with Let's Get Random. So the song says, she said, I'll throw myself away. Ella dijo que me tiro a la basura, me descarto. They're just photos after all. Solo son fotos al final. I can't make you hang around. Esto es como stick around. No puedo hacer que te quedes. I can't wash you off my skin. No te puedo quitar de la piel. And then the chorus goes, you can go with the flow, but don't take my word for it. I don't sing it as well as the Queens of the Stone Age. Thank you so much once again. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we'll check in very, very soon. Follow on social media for more content.
She said I'll throw myself away. Oh, they're just photos after all. I can't make you hang around.
And action. The show with no name is sponsored by Kinepolis.